Okay, how to repair audio on the Book of the Dead. So this is a common problem. Push the I and no sound. So what we'll do is, in this case, replace the batteries, but we could also replace the sound chip. Goof off. And cotton swab. I already partially started this, but we find a seam and we simply wipe the adhesive on the seam and it will dissolve it, hopefully. So as you can see, I'm releasing the rubber from the cover here, and all I'm using is a Q-tip dabbed in the goof off here. And I mean, it's not a fast process, but you don't rip. You're not ripping the rubber, and I'll show you here. I'm not ripping the rubber or staining the pages, anything like that. So you want to take your time. But I'll finish doing this and then be back. So I've worked a little bit more at this and I've got a seam loose, and I thought maybe you would like to see the process. Like I said, it's not a fast process, but it works and it's so far non-destructive for me. So I kind of almost like a sawing motion. I'm just gently applying a little bit of pressure and some adhesive remover, the goof off, to the glue, and it's releasing. And it's slow. You don't want to put too much pressure and rip the rubber. But it's slow, and as you can see, it's peeling back. Okay, so I've removed the adhesive, and all down this side, all down the bottom edge, and I can peel the flat back. There's awesome adhesive in the center that I released the exact same way. You gently work at it with the cotton swab with the goof off, and it will eat through the adhesive, and it hasn't affected the rubber on mine, at least, so I would say it's fairly safe. And then so we get it this far, and then what I did, you may continue all the way around, it's up to you, but what I was able to do is on mine is just kind of peel it back, and carefully. And as I peel it back, slowly, don't want to rip the rubber, as I peel it back, on mine, and I don't know if you can see this, on mine I have a sound chip in here which I'll pull out, which is connected to the I button up here. We can no longer see, it's right here. It's connected here to the sound chip. The sound chip in mine I've already replaced once before. However, the batteries are dead in it again, because now that it actually works, it's a lot more fun to press the button, and then of course the battery goes dead. So I could replace just the batteries on my sound chip, unplug the button that I spliced in. I never did take the eye apart, by the way. There's two leads that came down from the factory one. I just cut them and spliced them into this because the factory chip that I originally had in here was dead. So you can try replacing the batteries first in the factory chip, and or do what I did. If that doesn't work, just go to eBay, buy a couple of sound chips, one sound chip, whatever you prefer, you know, a minute, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. They make them in all different ranges of recording capacity. And I actually found a deal. I bought like 7 of these things, brand new. So I think they have cheap batteries in them, but pretty standard. There's a little USB dongle in there. You record sound waves off your computer and plug it into this. Here's the little button that came with it stock. I made sure to get one that had an on-off button for playing the recording. So this has one in it. It's comes with a little adhesive pad. But all I basically did is cut the wires from that button and spliced them into the factory wires. And I ended up with my eyeball button. You know, I could push it. And my sound chip that I programmed with an actual sound wave from the movie worked. So I'm going to finish this up, glue the cover back on it, and then we'll show you what it sounds like after I've replaced the chip. Okay, I knew I'd get back to this eventually, but basically I've replaced the batteries in the sound chip, and now I'm ready to reassemble it. So my sound chip inside here, and the book. Now, the sound chip that I used to replace mine, because my sound chip was actually broken, this one's a little bigger than what was in the factory. As a matter of fact, it looks quite a bit different, but it's just a foam lining in here. It's hard to see, but it's just a foam lining. And I merely laid the sound chip on there, and I took a little marker and I kind of made the outline, and I just carefully cut that foam out of there so I had place for the sound chip to lay in there. And we basically undo what we just did. So we take the cover, we put our little foam in there, make sure it's all in there nice, and tuck it in there. Make sure it covers nice. Careful not to rip any rubber. And now we're going to glue it back on with rubber cement. I don't know if you can see that, but just some rubber cement. Carefully, we don't want to put too much glue. We don't want it oozing out, but we'll secure the rubber cover on there. Before I do that, I'll show you once again what it looks like. There's the bare cover. You'll notice there was some in the middle too, kind of like an N shape, if you will. But, you know, just they put some glue in the center, so I'll do that too to glue the cover on. Okay, I thought I'd show you. It took me a minute or two to glue this on. Just take your time. You don't want to slop glue. You don't want to ooze it out the seams and everything. I've done it a few times, so you know I can do it a little bit faster, and you know it comes out pretty good. I will say, if you take your time, if you get any loose seams or anything like that, just go ahead, you know, and redo it. Put some more glue on, whatever you need to do. If you take your time, it should come out nice. I actually bought this brand new in the set, so I know for a fact that this looks as good as it did from the factory. So, you know, you can't tell it's been tampered with or anything like that. But more importantly, after the cover's been glued on, now we have a working eyeball.
This is Professor Raymond Hope, Department of Ancient History, log entry for 2. I believe I have made a significant find, the Castle of Canterlot. Having journeyed there with my wife Henrietta, my daughter Annie, and Associate Professor Nick Gettle. There was in the rear chamber of the castle. We stumbled upon something remarkable. A term.
Well, there you have it. Replace the sound chip, and good as new.